Okay, well, it's been a hell of a week out and about with JP and Rosie, our two wonderful charity partners from the UK. Hi, JP. So, JP, tell us a little bit more about the way in which you work with the kids from Hope.
Okay, I guess we work with the children differently depending on how they come to our programs. So the children that come through our child protection programs, through our night watch ambulance, are, I guess, met with on the streets, either in crisis or at high risk of becoming engaged in a crisis. And that can be at any time of the day or night, and it can be children from 0 upwards. The children that are engaged through our education programs come to us at, I guess, age 3 to 4. So they enter through our creche program, or early education program, which is quite similar to programs here in Australia or at home in the UK or Ireland. They're engaged to support their, I guess, their introduction to education, so that their parents know that they have a safe place to put their children when they go out into the workplace, and to reduce the risk of children becoming engaged in a workplace environment from such an early age. So through the creches, they receive positive nutrition, healthcare, hygiene support, counselling support, home visits, and also, of course, recreation and play, which is hugely important for young children. Children that, I guess, come to us through our coaching program, which is almost like a homework support club, are again from the age of, I guess, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to their, I guess, exit from senior education, so up to the age of 16, 17 when they're sitting their final exams. But we do support, I guess, teenagers to access training programs, to access further education, be that university or college. So much like, I guess, our own families, we support young people to access that, so they can be in full-time education up until the age of 21, 22, 23, depending on, I guess, what they've chosen for themselves. So we also or I guess, provide vocational training programs for young adults. So that can be in our Hope Cafe, where trainees receive support around, I guess, accessing trainings on the food and beverage industry. We also have a tailoring unit where young people can access skilled supports on, I guess, everything from pattern design to cutting to production. We also provide training through our computer program unit. Also, we provide spoken English classes, which
Mm.
supports, I guess, some of the young adults, but also some of the women who attach themselves to our training program as an alternative to, I guess, the sex trade, or other industries which may have a hazardous element to them.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love the way that once you've educated the children and worked with them in that way, that you actually take them right through from, when they're those little kids, I think you said 2 to 3, right?
Yes, yeah,
And then right through to about 23 is what you're
yeah.
saying.
I guess
Yeah.
up to the moment when they no longer need the support of the Hope Foundation. I guess there can be a misconception that NGOs like ourselves, that once you reach the age of 18, our door becomes closed to you, and that's not the case at all. I guess the homes, the education projects, they're very much like a family unit at the core. So as long as you need our support, we're there to extend that support to you.
Yeah, and the training facilities, I know that we're working with you at the moment in terms of one of those training facilities, which is the fashion
Yes,
unit, which is expanding, right? I mean,
it
tell us a
is.
little bit about that.
I guess the tailoring unit was opened in 2008, with the support of Educo Ireland, and I guess it's continuously evolving itself. We continuously have new elements to the trainings, but we would in the near future like to see the growth of that, I guess, out to what was part of our original plan, to have a, a production unit, and to scale that production unit as well.
Yeah, wonderful. So, are there plans afoot to grow more of these training programs as you, I suppose, take on more kids and as they start, becoming older and, available and ready to look at their, I suppose, foray into the world again, world of, working?
Absolutely, and I think
Mm.
we're always open to looking at expanding programs like this. We're always open to, I guess, testing the market in terms of the requirements, the needs for training, also the requirements and needs at the local outlets, the local markets for product. So it's great, I guess, that we have such a visionary team in place in Calcutta, that they're open to change, they're open to expansion, and they're, I guess, open to providing very direct and very, I guess, open feedback to us as well. If the program isn't needed, then we get that feedback very quickly. So Hope, I guess, in that regard, doesn't provide a service for the sake of providing it. It's there to meet the need.
Yeah, wonderful. And JP, maybe you could also share with our community a little bit more about, I started Moeloco with this idea of, using shoes as my vehicle to raise the awareness around, first of all, the children without shoes and how that, and what that means, by the children not having shoes. But that really is my way. It's the vehicle to, I suppose, introducing the people around us into this whole area of poverty, because it is a very overwhelming issue. I mean, I know that you and I have spoken about this quite often, and so to me it seems that the shoes were something very tangible for them to understand. It was something that's needed, but it's much more than just the shoes, because by working with Hope, we are really looking at that whole cycle of a child's life and then becoming an adult, and so the whole cycle of poverty that we're looking at. So I suppose if you could maybe just explain a little bit more about the shoes and what they mean to the children.
Okay, I guess in one of the first distribution moments with the shoes, I think something came through very strongly for us, just how important the shoes are, not just in terms of safeguarding healthcare, providing or allowing children to access education, but very personal for the children. Many of the children in our care are coming to us from street environments, from slum environments, from environments of being trafficked across the country and across borders. And shoes aren't something that they've always had. I guess we may find that quite strange here in the West to think that shoes may be a prized possession for many of the children. But in the reality of it, in Calcutta, they are prized possessions. And one of the children, I saw some pictures back from the boys' home in Calcutta, when he was presented with these shoes, he took those shoes to his room and put them under his pillow to safeguard them. And I just thought, that really represents what they mean to the kids in Calcutta.
Yeah, I love that story.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that story, it really, really touched my heart. I wonder if he's still sleeping with those shoes under his pillow, even though they've probably been out in the, walking around and got a bit sweaty by now.
Well, it's funny. I mean, we get pictures regularly back from Calcutta. Aside from, I guess, when the shoes were distributed, get them back from celebration days, from birthdays, from school outings, from holidays, and the pictures keep coming through with these immaculate white shoes. So it's clear that the kids really are taking pride in them and are taking care of them and just treasure them. So it's fantastic to see, because I think so many times here in the West, children of their age might have 10, 12, 15 pairs of shoes and Converse and whatever else they own. And they don't necessarily take pride in them or take care of them because they're easily replaceable. Unfortunately, in Calcutta, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, we really do take shoes for granted, don't we? We see shoes as, shoes over there can really be, they're a luxury item in some cases, they can be a life-saving item, and yet we just take them totally for granted.
We do, and you're right, they can be life-saving tools in Calcutta and in West Bengal. I mean, some of the children are walking to school on a daily basis through hazardous waste. They're walking through rubbish dumps, across the top of rubbish dumps. We have, I guess, experience within Calcutta of a rubbish dump that we work with, and the waste that's dumped there on a daily basis that becomes the pavement for children on their way to school includes body parts disposed from hospitals, human waste, other, I guess, hazardous hospital waste that here in the West would be very carefully disposed of, would be in packages marked hazardous and would be taken away very safely. In Calcutta, it's dumped on the open ground, and I remember being on the top of the dump with some volunteers a couple of years back. It was a photography group, and one of our photographers took a general image of this pile of rubbish with a kid standing on top. And we got in the jeep and we were leaving, and the photographer zoomed in to see the child. And when he zoomed into his face, you could see the child had a syringe, a broken syringe, hanging out of his mouth that he was playing with.
Oh my God.
So
Right.
these
Mm.
are these are very dangerous areas where children are going barefoot, and it's thanks to Moeloco that they no longer have to, that their health is protected a little bit more, that they are safe on their way to school, and that I guess they reach school safely.
Yeah, that it's just amazing. Just can't imagine that here in Australia. I know when I walk in bare feet just on a bit of grass or concrete, and I whinge and complain
Mm.
like a little girl about that. Well, JP, look, thank you so much for sharing some of those insights, and it's been absolutely amazing having you and Rosie here from Hope, and we really look forward to catching up with you again soon. And thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing and the way in which you're supporting our small, I suppose, difference that we're making. And and if we don't see you again here soon in Australia, we're definitely going to be seeing you in Calcutta.
Fantastic, and a huge thanks to you, Kathy, to Moeloco, and to your network, to your community that have just reached out so generously in the past week to us, and over the past months to the children in Calcutta. On behalf of the kids in Calcutta, a huge, huge thank you.
Thanks, JP.